Hello there, welcome to the stream. Just one second. There we go. Hello, welcome to the stream. Leeds United seem to be sitting on a little bit of a ticking time bomb, and I thought that was sort of interest. So I was having a quick look through various Leeds United-y things earlier on, so stuff like contracts, players that we're interested in, and there was one little thing that I spotted that spooked me a little bit. And I'll get into that in a moment, but first, if you haven't subscribed yet, doing so would be massively appreciated. It really, really helps the channel along. You can also get your tickets for the Leeds Creator Cup down below. Big old charity match, 20th of July at 1 PM. All of the creators that you could possibly dream of are there, and it's going to be a nice time. It's going to be fantastic. £7 for adults, £3 for kids. It's going to be a heck of a day. But I'm going to get right into the specific bit of news because I think it is especially of interest to Leeds fans who are interested in the idea of planning for the future. Because there's something a little bit spooky that is going on around these parts. Specifically, I was looking at Leeds United contracts and when each of them expire. And in the next 12 months, we have... What's the numbers? I can't quite remember. 5 players or something like that whose contracts expire. And the 3 players that I noticed specifically that fall into that category are Illan Meslier, Alex Cairns, and Carl Darlow. Now, as someone who has an interest in football and an interest in Leeds United as a football club doing reasonably well, I looked at this and I saw a little bit of a coincidence that I'm fairly sure all of you guys are seeing right now since I've mentioned it. And it's that all 3 of those players are goalkeepers. And outside of those 3 goalkeepers, we don't really have any further goalkeepers to speak of. Yeah, we've got, I believe Owen Granger in the 21s might be. Rory Mahady is a very, very good goalkeeper up and coming. But we don't got tons, which is an absolutely petrifying concept because we're in the position where in 6 or 7 months' time, on the 1st of January next year, it does not matter what happens in this transfer window. We will be in a position where all 3 of the goalkeepers we have on the books right now will either not be at Leeds United anymore in the event that we sell one, or will be available to talk to other clubs on a free transfer, which is a not good position for us to be in, because the ideal world is you have contracts for all of your players and they are staggered as they go. So if one goalkeeper has 1 year left on their contract, ideally your second choice or your first choice, depending on who's only got 1 year left, will have 2 or 3, or 3 or 4, as many years as you can get reasonably. And then your backup goalkeeper will also have enough years on their contract to leave you not without a keeper in these critical situations. And this is a position that I am a little bit spooked about when it comes to Leeds United. Because as much as we're talking about potentially signing a goalkeeper this summer, which is fine, that's all well and good, my worry is if we sign one goalkeeper to start and Illan Meslier goes, because I don't see us signing in a goalkeeper and keeping Illan Meslier. I don't think that is going to be the way that we take that. But then next summer, anyway, we will need to sign another goalkeeper unless we extend Carl Darlow's contract. And Carl Darlow is going to want to start playing football. We know when Darlow initially came into Leeds United that he did so with the idea of, okay, I'm going to take the starting spot off Illan Meslier. And in theory, yeah, that happened. But it happened after 1 year and 10 months or something wild like that. It took such a long time for him to eventually secure that position that it just sort of might make him think twice when it comes to going forwards. When it comes to, do I want another contract or do I want to move somewhere that we can eventually, get some minutes? Which isn't a good spot for us to be in, because we've got a goalkeeper who we don't want with less than a year on the contract. We've got a goalkeeper who doesn't necessarily want to be here because Darlow again will want minutes. And then we've got Alex Cairns, who is just sort of spare parts at this point. He's the one that is there for the homegrown quota. And it's a spooky position to be in. The best we can do this summer, in my opinion, is sign a starting goalkeeper and then next summer get a backup goalkeeper or something along those lines. But when it comes to having ticking time bombs, I think being in a spot where all of your goalkeepers at the same time are in the exact same contract position, and that position is you've got about 12 months, it's terrifying. And if things go wrong, things will go really wrong. So this means that even if we do keep Meslier this summer, we need another goalkeeper. Because it's a scary spot to be in. Anyway, this was a sort of more video-y style live stream in the early segments because I do not have too long. As was noted by Black Wedge, this isn't a new room. This is just the same room from the other direction. I've moved things around a bit. This is going to be a relatively short stream, but I'm going to do a little bit of talking about all kinds of things for a minute and answer any questions and all that kind of shebang. It's going to be a fairly quick one because I do not have that much time. I'm going to keep working on building a bed in a few minutes. That's nice. Did the bed win or did you? I won, but it was a Pyrrhic victory. It was a victory that was not a true victory. It's not finished yet, but that's because it's got a couple of like fiddly bits to finish up, and I cannot be bothered doing those right now. So that's going to be a job for later on, and then we'll attempt to have a first night's sleep in new bed tomorrow if I'm able to get that done. But then again, it depends on how I'm doing for time, because time is not necessarily on my side right now because I've got a lot of bits and bobs to do. Dr. Cox reckons that Alex Cairns will leave. I'm not entirely convinced on that. I think at the moment Cairns is in one of those positions where he's very comfortable. If he gets minutes, he's getting minutes at a level higher than he reasonably is. And he'll be paid more than he'd get in League One, in League Two. I wouldn't be too mad if I was Cairns. I've got to be completely honest with you. Just hope we get some signatures soon. Don't want to miss out on these targets. I agree that I don't want us to miss out on these targets, but the same issue that's affecting us, being PSR is an absolute pain, is going to affect everyone else as well. So it's not just an us issue. It's let's think of other clubs in the Premier League. It's a Bournemouth issue. It's a Palace issue. It's a Fulham issue. It's a Burnley and a Sunderland issue. Everyone is waiting for the PSR deadline because then you're allowed to just chuck more money at the wall. But until then, we can't really do too much, which is a little bit of a concern. I have a funny, strange feeling Meslier starts the season in goal. I don't think so. That does not seem to be it. Here's a spook. What if we don't even get a keeper? We will get a keeper. That, like, I understand that it's been seen as a bit of a spooky thing, but I can't see us not getting any goalkeeper. That is a little bit beyond sensible for me. Dr. Cox just wants for the PSR, and the thing is, the theory of it, I don't mind. The theory of when it comes to clubs making sure they don't spend outside of their needs, that bit I'm fine with, that bit I understand. It's when it expands a bit. It's when it turns into, well, you're only allowed to lose this set amount of money in any given year. And it's like, well, no, because if an owner is able to pay that, then it doesn't really help. And even then, it doesn't particularly help the top six clubs either. It just sort of hampers everyone. And it does help clubs that have more of a revenue to begin with. It is sort of pulling the ladder up behind you and making sure that no one else is able to climb it unless they spend very intelligently. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely better ways of approaching it. That's the thing. Just make sure that like an owner is financially secure before they buy a club. That's all you have to do. Have a decent like fit and proper owners test, and it'll be fine. And that would also mean that your ownership is clever enough to do contracts in a situation that doesn't lead to the one that we're in right now with the goalkeepers. But who knows? Gavin James says, look, we all want new players coming in, but there's plenty of time. Yeah, there's ages. Like, I know a load of people are spooked at the moment, but I don't think we have to be. Like, we'll get the deals done. We will have a squad at the start of next season, and I think we'll be in a good enough position to make a proper go of it. And the more that people get het up on social media and all spooked and all this kind of stuff is, well, you can Get scared about how we've not signed anyone yet all you like, but normally we wouldn't even have an open transfer window yet. So it's not really a concern. And odds are all of these conversations are happening behind the scenes anyway. Like the amount of times that people will say to either me or Joe or anyone else that is doing videos like this is saying, like we keep getting comments along the lines of, we know Leeds aren't going to sign anyone until July the 1st, so what's the point? And it's like, well, the point is that we don't just start having conversations around transfers on the 1st of July. That's not the thing. All of these discussions happen earlier, and then you just do the paperwork on the 1st. That's the way that works. It's not a case of, well, okay, and then you snap your fingers, and then boom, in comes Bouanga from LAFC. There's a process, and that process is already underway, and news coming out on said processes are sort of important, because that means that we're able to keep track of what the club is doing and get an idea of if we're heading in the right direction. So whenever people are like, why are we talking about transfers? We're not going to sign anyone yet. Okay. We're not going to sign anyone right now. Imagine if we did, though. But that doesn't mean that nothing is happening in the slightest. So these are conversations that still need to go on, because otherwise you get a bit lost. Newcastle have just signed a player, but he's not coming until July the 1st. Who? It's very interesting. But who? I don't know. Ah, well, it's fine. On an unrelated note, this is a bit of a weird one. Are they doing a civil war? Is that? Thank you, Larry Nance, for the retweet on that one, by the way. What's going on there, lads? What's cracking up? Okay. Get rid of Melly for 8 million. I think yes, that's probably going to be the case. I don't think he sticks around next season, but where he goes, no one knows. Antonio Cordero. Let's have a look. Antonio Cordero. Formerly of Malaga, 19 years old. Yeah, youth prospect. Okay. Very interesting. Keep an eye on it. Anyway, this, as I mentioned, is going to be a relatively short stream, just to sort of talk about that spooky little goalkeeper thing and how we kind of need to get that solved. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, pop a like on it, subscribe if you're not yet. You even be a channel member if you fancy. It's $2.99 a month. You get a bunch of videos and stuff early. I think I'll record today's video earlier than I recorded yesterday's. That was just because I was doing the room switch around, which ended at like 2:30 in the morning, which was wild. Good evening, Lee. You've timed that horribly because I'm about to end. If you haven't yet gotten your tickets for the charity match either, they are down below. You've got no excuse, because I know off the top of my head already, we've got people flying in from Ireland, from Italy, and from Dubai. So if you're in Wakefield and you're thinking, bit of a trek to get to Leeds, it's for a good cause, and you get to see all of your favourite creators on a football pitch, making each other look stupid. I am going to end the stream with a very quick redirect, just so everyone is aware, over to Joe Wayneman. Save that. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really short one. Sorry about that. Because I'm busy in a little bit and I want to spend a bit of time with Kayla. What we're going to say when we head over to Joe Wayneman is, oh, what do we say? He's watching a Nations League match. No, that doesn't work. This is where I gotta think. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, become a member, all that fun stuff. And we'll head over to Joe's stream now with Up the Roses, Peacocks Are Just Shiny Pigeons. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. In a bit.